Hello and welcome back to Mega Reacts. So today we're going to be watching Babylon 5 Season 1 Episode 10. Last episode we met the Death Walker, a alien who was the last of her kind, who created viruses and germ warfare and was just a crazy scientist and experimented on people and was like a total terrible person. But they found the key to immortality, which was death. So basically, for one to live, one had to die. It was crazy. She was gonna be basically allowed to make this for people, the Federation, or not the Federation, but you know what I mean, for the humans and all the other aliens eventually, and then she could stand trial, which we all know would never have happened. So she was gonna be let go to go do her thing on planet Earth, but the Vorlons were like, "You're not ready for immortality," and just blew her up, and no one can do anything because the Vorlons are OP apparently. And yeah, so very good episode. I love the whole concept of the Death Walker and kind of what she did and how the different races hated her, and the politics of how you can really do some of the most heinous things. You can do the most heinous things anyone can imagine. But if you're useful, it's funny how people can put that aside, you know, where someone who does the same thing who isn't useful, no one says anything about them being executed or anything because there's nothing to gain from them. So who cares? You know, so morality only goes as far as what you can get. That's kind of the message there. And it's sad, you know, and not everyone feels that way, but most governments do, if not all governments that I've ever met or ever seen, would definitely have made the same deal. You know, they would have been like, you know what, we'll put all your war crimes aside, come do some research for us, and all is forgiven. I think we saw some of that after the Second World War, didn't we? With some certain scientists. But, you know, let's not get into any of that craziness. It was a good episode. So let's just hop right into this episode. But before we do, please come on this crazy Babylon 5 journey with me. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Patreon link in the description below. This is Mega. Let's get into it. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, okay. Not looking good.
Am I going to die?
Very soon you will breathe much easier, and then you will grow up to be strong and wise and bring much honor to your mother and your father. Simple operation will easily correct the condition.
Operation?
Surgery.
You will cut him open?
Well, that's usually what surgery
Yeah, that's kind of how surgery works.
There's nothing to worry about, though.
Thank you, Dr. Franklin. I'm sorry to have taken so much.
Can they not
Look,
desecrate the flesh?
Afterwards, he'll be stronger than ever.
Food animals are cut open. They don't have a soul, so it's all right, but the chosen of God may not be punctured.
Oh,
The blockage
okay.
won't heal by itself. I know what is written.
Oh, I see what we're getting into this episode.
Few minutes later.
I'm gonna go ahead and pause it. Okay, folks. I mean, this is what sci-fi is about, right? Talking, discussing. If you believe something, I mean, if you have faith in something, I mean, truly believe in something, like, you wouldn't want to go against that. And if their culture, their society, their religion believes, you know, if you cut upon the flesh, it could release the soul because, you know, that's why you're able to kill animals. But like, what if you like nick yourself or cut yourself shaving or cutting down fire, like cutting firewood? All right, I'm jumping ahead of myself there, but the cons, you know, I can see what they're setting up. It's going to be science versus religion. It's going to be parents' choice over government choice. It's gonna touch on some
Heavy shit.
and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. It's gonna be this is gonna be a good episode.
Confirmed, Asimov. We'll be right there.
Believers.
Commander, we've just received a distress signal from the Starliner Asimov. They've had a fire in their
Asimov?
control center.
How serious?
It's been taken care of. However, they've lost their navigational
Great
computer.
call out.
It's a very simple
But
procedure.
we cannot
I
cut.
understand the procedure all too well. That is why we won't allow it.
So you're just going to let him die? What kind of a god do you worship?
We cannot discuss this any
Woo.
longer. This is useless.
Wait.
Getting heated. Yeah, we're gonna do the surgery behind their back. That's what we're gonna do.
You never insult a patient's beliefs. You work with them. You try to understand their concerns. You give them a reason to be on your side.
That kid is going under the knife or into the freezer. Those are the only options.
Sometimes you have to heal the family before you can heal the patient. I am trying to find a way to save him, Doctor.
Oh, like, yes, dude.
These people, they're terrified.
He
but they're
gets
just not
it.
ready to cut to the chase. Now, I don't like it any more than you do, Doctor, but we don't get a vote. You're gonna have to stay in bed for a while. It's gonna be boring. But the station has over 1,000 educational and entertainment channels, and you can watch...
No. We have seen some of that material. Those channels demonstrate false belief systems.
He can study the scrolls if he gets bored. In particular, the parable of the seventh declination in the scroll of Herald. I've always found that to be a most inspiring lesson.
How did they develop space travel?
Got something for you.
Or did they?
You don't disapprove of superstition, if it's your superstition.
Now, what is that supposed to mean?
They worship the great egg, your god is medicine, and you can do no wrong in his service.
What's your point?
Did you see their eyes? They're terrified. You didn't solve anything, you just postponed it.
Prove me wrong if it'll make you happy. You're not going to find anything. And I'll bet a steak dinner on that, too. One way or another, I'm going to save that boy's life. Whatever it costs.
Ooh, whatever it costs. That's dangerous. Those are dangerous words, my friend. He does feel like God, doesn't he?
You could order me to take whatever steps I felt necessary to save that boy's life, including surgery.
If I do that, it establishes a precedent.
What if I made an official request?
I'm asking you to find another way to resolve this.
You don't care if that boy dies?
That's not the issue.
Okay.
It's looking rough. Get you some nanites. If you have nanites. I don't know if you have nanites in this time. You can program them, have them
Your
eat them.
treatment isn't
They'll find their way.
He's getting weaker. If we had taken him away, we might have gotten him to Thalatine.
Now, you brought him here because you wanted me to save him. Well, let me save him, please. Or he will choke to death on his own fluids.
There are more important things in life than the next breath. Without his spirit, he wouldn't be alive anyway.
It'd be crazy if he cut into him and his soul does come out.
I have the safety of the patient present
Told you.
on the station. You leave me no choice but to ask Commander Sinclair to suspend your parental authority. I'll put aside your objections, and I will perform that surgery without your permission. I'm sorry. I have to do what I feel is best for Shaw.
They might try to kill him now.
And so do we.
They're gonna kill their own kid. They're gonna kill their own damn kid.
I'll make my decision within 24 hours.
You will rule against us, won't you? You will give our child to Dr. Franklin. If he harms my child, if he touches Sean, I will kill him.
Oh, there we go. There we go. But you know what? I get where their father's coming from. I can see his
That's why
perspective.
you're asking for armed protection.
We do not casually entangle ourselves in the affairs of other species.
Please.
Smart.
He's our son. Have you no sympathy?
I sympathize entirely, my dear. This is a difficult and distressing situation. We are on a budget here.
A world of
We cannot
bureaucracy.
justify such expenses for non-Centauri.
Excuse me?
Just how much justice can you afford?
The Volans are very
Wow.
powerful. If you
Wow.
file a protest, Commander Sinclair
Wow.
will have to forbid Dr. Franklin to operate on his son.
Will you consider one thing?
I gotta pause it
Please.
real quick. How much justice can you afford? That's going in the title when I put this on YouTube. It's sad, but most legal systems, that's exactly it. How much justice can you afford? I don't see the Vorlon backing these folks up, but I could be wrong.
The avalanche has already started. It is too late for the pebbles to vote.
I understand your frustration.
Well, I don't know what that even means.
It's difficult for you to feel so powerless.
Then you will help us.
No.
We, Minbari, have our own relationship with the larger domains of the universe.
You are refusing because of your beliefs?
We thought
Yes.
the Minbari were the most intelligent of all races.
Only trying to
They're refuging for their beliefs. You should respect that.
The Franklin believes he's doing.
I would side. I would ask the kid what he thought, but most likely I'd side with the parents. Ask the kid what he wants.
Sean,
He's old enough, I
have to ask
think.
you a very difficult question.
I think he could make the decision.
I know you've been thinking about it.
But I don't want the operation. I don't want to lose my spirit.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
You are not born of the egg.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta.
Tell me about it.
I think, yeah, I would side with the kid.
May God save us from false religion.
What makes a religion false? If any religion is right, then maybe they all have to be right.
That's
Maybe
it.
God doesn't care how you say your prayers, just as long as you say them. What we hold sacred gives our lives meaning.
Yes.
What are we taking away from this child?
That's a question.
Would he even be able to go home? Would they even let him back on the planet?
This is the only way to save the boy. I have to refuse to sign the order. I can't allow you to perform the operation.
Better give up that steak dinner, son.
You're just gonna let him die.
For God's sake, Doctor, do you think I want to do this? I have no more choice.
For God's
than
sake,
anybody
Doctor.
else. I have to be the advocate for the parents because no one else will.
I'll call you if there's any change in his condition.
Don't you do it, Doctor. Don't you do it. I see that look on your face.
I think you should go now.
You're going to do it anyway, aren't you?
that's the look
They
on
have
his
their
face.
beliefs and I have mine. I took an oath.
What about the kids' beliefs, man?
Sinclair will have you thrown off the station.
I'm already packed. Pressure?
We're equalized to his
What if his soul does pop out? Honestly, like, what if it just goes? Whew?
Might be a slight escape of
It
air
would be
once
crazy.
this incision.
I can breathe again, but I don't feel different inside.
Well, see, I told you.
I want my mother and my father.
You asked for us, Doctor.
Doctor.
Manya! Manya!
In the name of the egg, you did it. You did it anyway.
It's me! I don't feel any different.
They don't want you. No, they won't even touch you. What do you think was gonna happen, Doc?
What have you done?
Don't leave me!
That's exactly what I thought was gonna happen. You stupid, stupid man.
Sean, it's all right.
I
What?
gave you a direct order, Doctor. You disobeyed it. I should ask for your resignation right here, right now.
You want it, it's yours.
Don't tempt me, Doctor. Who asked you to play God?
Every damn patient who comes through that door, that's who. People come to doctors because they want us to be gods. They want us to make it better, or make it not so.
Not to be
They want to be
gods.
healed. And they come to me when their prayers aren't enough.
When someone goes into that chapel and they fall on their knees and they pray to God that their wife doesn't miscarry, or that their daughter doesn't bleed to death, or that their mother doesn't suffer acute neural trauma from post-operative shock, who do you think they're praying to? If you're looking for God, he was in operating room number 2 on November 17th, and he doesn't like to be second-guessed. You ask me if I have a God complex? Let me tell you something. I am God.
Well, if I have to take the responsibility, then I claim the authority too. I did good. And we both know it. And no one is going to take that away.
My husband has brought the Lamuda. The traveling robe for great journeys. We will take the boy now.
He needs to rest.
He will.
He's dead. He's dead.
I'm waiting for an apology.
Is he
You
dead?
better check the temperature in hell first.
I think the kid's gonna be dead. Why is everyone so happy? Oh, they're gonna kill him. That's why. That's his great journey. His great journey is death.
Goodbye, Dr. Franklin.
There's the Lamuda traveling robe.
It's a death robe. It's a death robe is what it is. Maybe they're all dead.
Oh my God.
Nope, just him. Yeah, they did it. Yeah, they did it. They thought he had no soul. They thought it was a demon.
This was not our son. This was only a shell. There was nothing to do but end the pain of the shell.
It's a heavy fucking episode, dude. Oh.
You can have my resignation.
You should never have asked me for a ruling. Then you wouldn't have had to disobey it.
I'll know better next time.
There's no way you could have known what they would do.
What? Yeah, you could have.
Tell me it's not my fault.
I knew what they were gonna do.
I'm trying to tell you that what makes us human is that we care. And because we care, we never stop trying.
What makes us human is that we have so many different ways to hurt.
Go listen to The Cure, buddy. You sound emo as hell. Okay, I'll be right back with you. Heavy episode. So that was Babylon 5, Season 1, Episode 10. Wow, that's heavy. Heavy episode. You know, do the parents have the right to let their kid die over religious reasons? Like, that's a heavy question, man. That's a heavy question. On one hand, I want to respect the parents' rights. You know what I mean? Like, as parents, it's your kid. How far should the government be able to control what you do? On the other hand, you have a kid. It is a life. It is a person. And, you know, do you just let them die because their parents refuse to save their life, basically? I mean, would that not be just being a negligent parent? I mean, technically, yeah. I mean, that's being negligent. And on Earth, on Earth, it's much more complicated than this episode. On Earth, it's a case-by-case basis for me personally. In this case, if it was just a regular human couple with the same kind of thing, I would have probably sided with the parents, only because of the kid's age. The kid was old enough to know what he wanted, and the kid didn't want it. He was probably, what, 12, 13, 14? At that age, I think you have to take into consideration their thoughts on it. And I get it. They've been brainwashed their whole life into this cult, religion, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But I would probably do what the kid decided. Probably. But in this situation where it's a different alien, a different species, I would have 100% done what the commander did and sided with the parents. If I was the commander and I was voting on this alien species, because their whole society, I guess, is tied around this like rule and this egg and the great this and the chosen that. And so I would, you in that situation, I'm not going to go against an entire planet's culture and beliefs when The parents don't want it. The kid doesn't want it. I would have known if you do this, the parents are going to kill this kid. I saw that coming 15 minutes in because they are true believers. We're not talking about people who are putting on the facade of following religious doctrine or theology or whatever, or cultural rules, blah, blah, blah. These are people who believe what they are saying. They believe if you cut him, he will lose his soul. They believe it. There is no doubt. There's no room for logic to get in. But even that is a fallacy because they're aliens. How did you know? How did you know, doctor, for 100% if you cut him, something wouldn't have came out? I guess you ran tests or whatever, but I mean, technically, he's an alien. I don't know. Maybe you do cut him and like his spirit would come out. There's weirder shit I've seen in sci-fi. It's plausible. It's plausible is all I'm saying. It's plausible. It's plausible it could have happened. But, you know, they are true believers. And you cannot put your reason and logic into something a true believer would do. You have to look at it their side. And on their side, I knew 100% they'd kill the kid. I thought they were all going to kill themselves too. I think they were going to do like a mass suicide because they're dishonored and the son is a walking demon now. And, you know, you would have saved his life for all three of them to die. Like that would have been a real, but Doc, you got to get rid of that God complex, son. I rarely go to a doctor, rarely. And I can tell you this with 100% certainty. I have never went to a doctor hoping they were God. You know, like I've never looked at any doctor as if they were God. Never have, never will. Like you're a human. You're whatever species you are. You're a professional. You're a healer. But it's not because you have magic powers or because you control life and death, because you have trained at a specific thing and you know how to do things and you're trained and you might be good at your job, but you're not God. You know, when I bring someone's computer back to life, I'm not the God of electronics. I just have a specific skill set and I know how to do certain things. And to those who don't know how to do those things, it might look like a miracle. They might say, I'm a god. It has happened once or twice, but you're not God, dude. You're not God. And that complex is what made you go against everyone's ruling and play God is what you did. You played God. You chose what happened to that kid. But bring you back down to the ground. You're not God because guess what? Kid died anyway. And not only that, all right. It's a heavy episode, man. I am way too talkative. And I might be a little tipsy at this point. The kid's last moments, okay? They could have been him surrounded by his not his wife, his mom and his father, comforting him, singing to him, telling him, you know, all the great things. Instead, his last moments were one, his parents running out on him, pulling a knife on him, threatening him, you know, calling him a demon, blah, blah, blah. And then his parents killing him. That was his last moments on this realm of existence because of you, doctor. Because of you. Which one was better? Because he was dying anyway. I knew that. And he died, you know, in dishonor in his own eyes because that's his culture. What are you doing, Doc? What are you doing? In real life, it's a tough situation, man. That's why it's situation by situation. There is no... I personally, and you know, you think whatever you want. This is a free country, Jack. I don't care what you think. As long as you're not trying to mess with me, you're good to go. But in this reality, I would definitely be on a case-by-case basis. There is no broad ruling for something like this. I mean, there are certain instances where I think the government should step in. There's other ones I probably don't. I mean, heavy situation, man. I'm like Sinclair, dude. Like, I really don't want to have to make this choice. This is way above my pay grade. You know, he's a commander, and it was above his pay grade. What am I, you know? I'm some dude in his garage making YouTube videos on the weekend. That's who I am. Way above my pay grade. But yeah, a great episode. Merely because here I am, over an hour in, talking about it. Great sci-fi. Great TV. Stimulates discussion, stimulates thought, stimulates conflict even within yourself as you just look at these things. And so crazy. You can definitely tell that the showrunner is an atheist though. And hey, I got no problem with atheism, no problem with anyone who's religious either. I would probably be agnostic if I had to put a label on it. Like, I do believe there is some sort of higher power in the universe. I don't know what. I don't know why. I don't think it actively participates in our lives, really. Like, but I also don't know. I can honestly say I don't know. So that's kind of where I'm at. But you could definitely tell that, you know, and he didn't overly push it or anything. I'm not saying it like that, but some of the arguments some of the characters made and some of the things that they said, you could definitely tell that was coming from a perspective of, you know, someone who wholeheartedly is like, you know, there is no God, and why are we even discussing this? And then even the commander was like, you know, if it's true one God might be real, then how come they all can't be real? They all can't just be the same one? Or like, he makes a valid point. If anyone has faith in any God, you have to believe in the possibility that all gods might be real, or that all races might follow the same God but in a different way. You got what I'm saying? If you're let me put it out this way. If you're making a commercial, we'll conflate religion with a commercial. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. It's just a way to explain this. I've had a bit of alcohol, folks, so I don't want to offend anybody. I'm not trying to. But sometimes people take what I say the wrong way. If religion was a commercial, so God is putting out this commercial to get you to follow his path. And so let's just say there's one God for the whole universe, all the planets, all the sentient beings. Well, every race is going to develop its own way depending on its environment and climate and the rotation around the sun and all these different things that dictate life. And you got to make your commercial for your market. So on Earth, he throws out these different things. On this planet, he throws out the great egg. On this planet, he throws out, what is it? What is the Cleon? Kales? No, the Cleons killed their gods. Never mind. That would not work. The Jem'Hadar and the Founders won't work either. Anyway, you got what I'm saying. So, you know, you put out your messages to fit the market, and all the planets are different markets. I don't know if that makes sense. And I got off on a rant there. This might not make it to YouTube. If not, patrons, this is just for you. I don't know. It was a crazy good episode for the reasons I've already said. It's got me thinking, man. This is one of those episodes I wish I was watching with my oldest brother, Edward. Edward, if you watch this, I know he's one of my patrons. Give him some love if you see him on here. Ed, if you are watching this, wish we watched this episode at the same time. We can sit here and talk about it, because it's heavy, dude. Heavy. But Babylon 5, another fantastic one. Oh, man. If you've made it this far, you a real MVP. Put real MVP in the comment below so I can see if anyone even made it through this much of my craziness. But let's just do the YouTube finish. So overall, just another great, fantastic episode of Babylon 5. Each episode brings something familiar yet different to me. And that's why I love it. That's why I love great TV. That's why I love great sci-fi. If you love it too, continue to come on this journey with me. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Patreon link in the description below. This is Mega, signing off.